I remember I used to be big on social media, or not that I was big and popular, but I was big on like promoting businesses. I was doing coaching, I was doing multifamily, and I was chasing those lights, man. Maybe you can relate to that. And I things weren't really working. I mean, I would have some success, and I guess according to others, as they viewed from the outside in, they saw me as successful, but it wasn't really it just didn't feel right. It wasn't, I mean, I always made a pretty good living, but it just wasn't, something was wrong. And so I kept getting this message that, like, it was this, I don't know if it was like a whisper or a clarion call or a message from the higher self, and it's just like, purify yourself. I kept hearing that. I'm like, why is this not working? Why do I feel this suffering? And maybe you guys can relate in your efforts of, I call it chasing the carrot, right? You just go, and it's no matter what you achieve, you want more and you want more, and you do have happiness along the way for a moment when you get what you want, but then that quickly fades because it's an external material thing that isn't real, right? So you keep going and going, and I did that, and I was just like, why isn't this working? Like, I've always had this deep, like, desire to understand and to just for truth. What is truth? And so it took me into self-truth. And when I was doing that, I just kept getting this message, purify yourself. Like what the fuck does that mean, right? What does that mean? And so that took me into self-truth, and that's when I started witnessing the mind a lot. And what I mean by witnessing the mind is part of the roar technique. You can check that out in the comments below, it's free. But what I mean by witnessing the mind is like just dropping back to the seat of consciousness of watching your mind and seeing the true intentions that you have and why you do what you do, and pure self-truth and self-honesty. And man, when I started doing that, it destroyed me. It destroyed my false self completely. And that was, it still is. Honestly, it's still, there's a little piece left, I feel like. It's still happening. Like, I don't know now how I'm gonna make money. I don't know what I'm gonna do for a relationship, if I need a relationship, I don't know. I know I'm happier than I've ever been, and I'm the most okay with not knowing that I've ever been. But literally, it stripped everything from me. My career, my identity, I deleted all my social media. It's been almost 6-8 months ago. So that journey to self-truth, most people that I've helped, I know I can't speak for you, but most people that I've helped, they start looking in it like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Like, why do I need to pick up my phone every 5 minutes? Why am I really making this post? Oh, I'm making this post because I really want to help people. It's altruistic. And I had myself convinced of that. So I'm just talking about me, man. And I know that this occurs in other people, but do you have the courage to really look at it is really the point of this video. You know, I would post things like, people would say, what do you want to do? I just want to help people. I just want to help people. And when I really looked with self-truth, what my intentions were behind like 6 justifications, well, I have 100 people that told me I helped them. You know, so just behind all that, oh, it actually does help them. Behind all of that, what are you really doing? And what I found out I was doing, I don't even know how to put it into words. I mean, I was serving myself. I was feeding the holes in my insecurity. I was making myself feel better. I was buffing up my false identity so that I could not feel so insecure. I was filling the holes created by my ego mind. I mean, that's really what it is. And the problem with that is it never works, man. It never quits. It never stops. We talk about that all the time on this channel. And so I'm like, when you find that out and you're really honest, first of all, your ego comes in and says, no, you helped Jamie and Josh and you need to keep going because they want you to speak at this event and you do this and this. And you know, it's so easy just to get pulled right back into those neural pathways in your brain. Well, it's actually up into your ego mind again, and you're like, I tried looking at self-truth, and I know I'm true to myself, and you just go back into that external world, and what's next? More suffering. Some point, your desire for truth, which is the highest desire you can have, even though all desires eventually go away, becomes greater than like the need to get that carrot. Because what happens is you just go do it, and you have these little ups and downs, and you have like, you end up just suffering. So the point of all spiritual pathway is, how much suffering does it take to get you to turn inward? That's really the whole thing. And I don't like saying things like most people, but a lot of people convince themselves that they're not even suffering. But they can't sit still. They can't even sit still. They don't even know why they do half the things they do. They can't even be with themselves on a couch for 5 minutes with their eyes closed and no thoughts. Which, by the way, try that. Try for 1 minute without a thought. That's the way, by the way. That is the way to know yourself. And so I fell apart, man. I fell apart. I realized the manipulation, even the things that I was doing, and I considered myself, a high spiritual person, and, well-read, hundreds of books. I could talk to you about any spiritual philosophy. I still can, whatever. But it tore me apart. Self-truth totally just destroyed my life, but it destroyed what was false. What's left is the pureness. So in the end of all of this, I have purified myself. I'm not done, but I feel clean. I feel true. I feel honest. I feel authentic. I have clarity. And one of the biggest clarities that I have is that I know I don't know. That's like the most beautiful thing. Someone told me once there's 3 types of knowledge. There's the stuff you know, the stuff you don't know, and the stuff that you don't even know that you don't know. And I used to focus on that third one, the stuff that you don't even know that you don't know, and I would say that's the stuff that gets you. Like, you're 99.99% of the knowledge out there you don't even have a clue about. It's way bigger than that, by the way. Like, there's so much beyond our universe. So I would always focus on, that was my whole journey to truth, was finding that 99% that I didn't even know that I didn't know. I'm not talking about the stuff, I know I don't know about that. I'm talking about the stuff that you don't know. And that did lead me to self-truth, so that was good. But what I've realized now is it's the stuff you know that gets you. Beliefs, concepts, ideals. And the worst part is, you'll be backed by everybody else. You'll be backed by the #1 podcast told me this, and they're all doing it. Grant Cardone does this, and it worked. Guys, the world is going the wrong way. Well, there's no right or wrong, but if you don't like suffering, you might not want to go that way. So, self-truth tore me apart. This video's getting long. I'll do more about the knowledge thing because that was really interesting. Obtaining knowledge. Thinking I was smart, realizing I didn't know anything, and then obtaining more knowledge, and then coming to a point where all knowledge had to pretty much, it doesn't go away, but you have to let go of what you think you know and your concepts and everything. So anyway, it's a comfortable place to be in, even though it sounds crazy. I have no idea what my future is. I don't even know where I'm going to live. I don't know what I'm going to do for money. And I'm very blessed to have had the courage to take this journey. Self-truth tore me to pieces. And that was exactly what needed to happen.